evening and welcome to Tinkering with Edkelar.
Previously on Tinkering with Edkelar. And now, the conclusion.
Sorry, couldn't resist. But yes, this is the last part of the 2020 tractor series. As usual with such old things, there will be stuff to do next year for sure. The cylinder head has me worried a bit. I did not get new valves, but clearly I should have. Meh, out of budget and out of time for this year. This is one item for next year then. I did lap the valves to improve the seating as good as I could, besides cleaning the passages. The fuel system can be mounted next. Filters, lines and the injection pump. Speaking of injection pump, the timing needs adjustment. It is easy for the camshaft. There is a notch on the gear and the gearbox. Those need to line up when the first cylinder is top dead center. Not much to get wrong there. The teeth are big and it's either okay or way off. But the injection pump is another beast. It can be adjusted to any point, not limited by any gear tooth. The procedure to get it adjusted is described, but ever so slightly abbreviated. It took me several tries to understand and get it right. I thought. Adding the water pump and alternator next, so I can put on the new belt. Which means that I can add the fan, shroud and radiator too. And here we go, the head bolts, the new head gasket and the head, making sure that there is no dirt in there. Tightening down the head bolts in the suggested pattern. I did use 3 increments in torque to make sure the head is as flat on the liners as it can possibly be. Notice the drill bit as a stand-in for the special tool to keep the oil line for the rocker assembly aligned. Here's the air filter. And the rocker assembly. That also needed some cleaning and checking up. Looks good. I can feel no play on the rockers. The exhaust was much easier to mount than to take off, once I found the right gaskets in my set. There's two almost exactly alike ones, one for the intake and one for the exhaust. Guess which ones I mixed up? Time for the last pipes and hoses for the coolant loop, including the thermostat and the probe for the meter. I reused the coolant as it was only a bit over a year old to begin with. But the bucket accumulated quite a bit of gunk, so I had to filter it first. Almost there. Adding fresh oil, and now it's ready for the big moment. Claws crossed. Something seems off. Well, I guess by now I can adjust the injection pump blindfolded. I had to repeat the process about 7 times over and over again. The biggest problem is that the manufacturer doesn't provide services instructions beyond "bring it in". In between alignment tries and internet research, I mounted the horn and the headlights. But eventually, and now it's time to take it out of the shop for the first warm-up. Gear, clutch, start, whoops! That clutch didn't quite open, despite me pushing down all the way. Good thing I cleaned the way before starting. Anyhow, I just started my way out of the shop, stopping the engine, putting it in neutral and let it run until it reached operating temperature, then repeated the process back into the shop. Now I could retighten the head bolts, which is required to prevent head gasket damage. Turns out that, despite checking pictures, I did get the clutch disc in back to front. Splitting the tractor again, flipping the disc, putting it back together again. All in a day's work. Literally. Well, it runs, it builds oil pressure, but it has a slightly strange sound to it. I think the second cylinder isn't firing quite right. That valve needs replacing for sure. Getting close. There is an air deflector that directs cooling airflow over the headlights. It had crumbly rubber attached, so I cut out some new strips and attached those. Also, the hood and side panels can finally go on. As a last improvement, I wanted to put in a main battery switch. Easier said than done, as there is nowhere to put that. Well, some people might put it onto the side panel, but I rather hide it a bit. On the battery hold-down frame seemed a good idea. And again, the camera is off when the most fun happens. I connected the positive wire first, all well insulated, so I wouldn't accidentally short out the battery. Then I mounted the negative wire, and sparks flew. The positive line got pinched by the battery frame, so when my wrench contacted between negative and the frame, whoops! And as a last item to go on, new decals. So here it is, before and after. Nice special effect, right? Yeah, something to do for next year, in addition to the valves. also found out why the pins of the front loader cylinders wouldn't budge. The holes are misaligned, so much so that they won't go in either. So that's it for this time. Special thanks again to Yoti, who put up with the many questions about mechanical and engine details I had and provided some direct input and confirmations. Thanks, pal. I hope all of you enjoyed this excursion into internal combustion engines. See you for my next project. Counterweights for the third cylinder and the main bearing mounts require a specific torque. Sorry.